most welcome to Dunboyne College Open Night for courses starting in 2022 into 2023. Whether you're watching tonight from Meath, Dublin, Kildare, Westmeath, Offaly or further afield, we thank you most sincerely for allowing us into your homes to actually talk about some of the wonderful courses that we have here available in Dunboyne College. My name is Dennis Leonard, the principal here in the college, and on behalf of all the staff, I want to thank you most sincerely for being part of our 20th Open Night. Unfortunately, it's the second year in a row we've been COVID enforced to actually have it online. But this year we're hopeful with the prognosis that's ahead for us, hopefully as a country and a region in the coming weeks and months, that we'll be able to have an afternoon in April where we'll be able to invite you into the college to see the rooms and to meet with the lecturers directly. But for tonight, we hope, and Fiona Hoey in a few minutes will be taking you through all our science courses that are available here. Later on at 7 o'clock we'll be taking you through our service courses. Tomorrow night at 5 we have business, then at 6 we have all the pre-university arts and law, and at 7 we have IT, computers, design. So whatever you're interested in, even if it's 2 or 3 of the different departments, you'll have a chance to tune in and find out exactly what's happening in each of those departments and the progression routes that are available that Maeve and Derek will take you through later on. There's a huge demand for our courses now. It's becoming a first choice for so many people. For so many years it was seen as a backup or a backstop, but now it's seen as the first choice of something that people want to do to make the transition from second level into the full higher education courses that are available or into employment. Really, when you look at what's available now in the country, DCFE is one of the leading options in offering a good learning environment, a family atmosphere, great student supports, experienced tutors who are teaching in their field of expertise. You'll hear from Keenan later on in the science area, and he represents so many of the teachers here who have such a high level of professionalism and offer such quality teaching both here on the campus, in person or remote. A college with a great track record since 2003. We have an outstanding reputation among third level institutions and employers. In fact, in the last week we have appeared in the Irish Independent, the Irish Times and numerous radio stations who are highlighting our fantastic level of over 90% of our students after they finish in here progressing directly into higher education or into employment only a few months after leaving us in June of each year. The 20th of December was a great day for us here. Minister Simon Harris, Minister Helen McEntee, Minister Damien English came to visit the college, to see our facilities and also to announce that we're going to become the first prototype, purpose-built further education college of the future. The campus will be built here in Dunboyne in the coming years, and it will allow us to have on this site not just QQI level 5 and 6 but apprenticeships, traineeships and many other HNDs and many other wonderful programs that will be on offer. Our panel later on will take you through those programs, and as I said, there will be subject experts here and also our career guidance team to tell you how to progress as you move along. We have nearly 60 courses here, all accredited by QQI. All our courses are at least level 5, some are level 6. Every single course offers some form of progression to an IT or a university. We also have direct links regardless of the Leave and Cert points. All our courses have mandatory work experience modules, so you get to get out there in the field and get clinical experience or experience in areas like science or business or service industry. Statistically, QQI students tend to be more focused, they have excellent retention at third level and they perform extremely well academically. We have huge progression links to all of our universities and ITs around the country. We have huge flexible options. Our dropout rates are very low here, and the dropout rates for people who move on from us to go to higher ed are less than 3% compared to 10% who drop out in the first year of university in some of the university courses and up to 20 to 30% in many of the IOTs. All our students here learn referencing, research, self-directed learning. They tend to stay the full third level course afterwards, unlike many who might go directly from Leave and Cert simply because they're not 100% sure what they want to do. So Maeve and Derek later will answer those questions about those progression routes. But I'm able to announce tonight that the recent CAO figures that came out to us show that over 400 of our students from last year's group received a third level offer, over 350 of them at level 8. And they included 115 offers to Maynooth University, 39 to DCU, 21 to UCD, 12 to Trinity, 186 to the new TU for Dublin, 22 to Dundalk, 31 to Athlone. And wherever you're living, there's obviously an IOT or university near you. We have progression links into each of those colleges that we're very proud of. But as well as being able to progress on to third level, you also learn essential skills for life. You learn study skills, which equip you for further education. You learn how to reference, how to do a bibliography, how to put together an assignment, how to present your work in the required format, all essential skills for higher education. We also show you how to navigate the many platforms that are out there, like Moodle, which will help you and is used in many of the third level institutions. You learn to do research and apply theory and practice. You take responsibility for your own work on a day-to-day basis. You learn time management and how to progress your learning yourself. A PLC course is essentially a bridge that takes you away from the personal stress that sometimes can be there in the first year of a new environment at higher education. It also affirms that you're picking the right option for moving on. So it's a great way to try a course, to learn a new skill within a college environment. We're a unique bridge, a unique transition between second and third level, or indeed if you come to us as a mature, you learn the essential skills that are needed sometimes for the different workplaces. And also we offer skills to advance courses where we take employees in from many companies and give them very essential IT or HR skills that they require. So it offers a real opportunity for moving forward. And many, many students have come back to us over the years and have said to us, it's the best choice that I ever made. In terms of college life, our college newsletter is now up on dunboynecollege.ie. You'll be able to see it. And it shows you all the extracurricular trips, a very active student council, our Erasmus program, which takes you to Exeter or Barcelona or Tenerife. We run a scholarship program here with local businesses. So really, there are many opportunities here to actually do exactly what you need to do for the year to get you to where you need to go. So how does it work in terms of interviews? Basically, dunboynecollege.ie is the best way. You go on their website, you'll see all the blue screen, but there's a red box on there that says apply now. Once you click there, it takes you right the way through the process. 10 of our courses this year, including pre-university science, are actually up on the CAO website as well. But it's a pilot with CAO, but by next year all our courses will also be available on CAO. But everything, every single course, nearly all 60, are available on dunboynecollege.ie. Interviews will be held remotely, but for the most time we just upload your personal statement, and once you do, you get an answer within 2 weeks, and all the information about applying and fees and everything else is on the website. Payment of full fee guarantees your place on the course, but you can get a full refund of your fee up to the beginning of October next year, when maybe a late third level offer comes in. Demand for places in our college is usually high. Over 2,500 students this year applied for 1,000 places. So finally, just a few final messages. After 2 years of uncertainty in second level, maybe now it's a time to focus on an area that you really want to develop. Maybe it's in the science, ag science, animal science, sports science, the many different sciences areas that Fiona will tell you about shortly. Or why not spend a year exploring that area in depth and go college ready when you do progress. And then come May, you're in a great place to embrace the next step of your educational journey with a great set of skills in your arsenal. If you miss anything tonight in this presentation, or you want to click into some other area among our 6 departments, it's all available on opendcfe.ie. That's opendcfe.ie. You can check anything that you need to check there. So follow us on our website, on Facebook, on Instagram or Twitter. We're even on TikTok. As we have said for the last 18 years, begin here, go anywhere. We hope you find what you've been looking for here this evening, and we thank you for tuning in. And most of all, what I want to say to you tonight is the very best of luck on your educational journey, whether it takes you through Dunboyne College or not. I sincerely hope that you reach the place that you want to be. So as Keenan will join our panel shortly, and Maeve and Derek will answer your career guidance questions, I now hand over to Fiona Hoey, who will take you through our science department courses. She's the head of our science department. Good evening.
Good evening and welcome to the Pre-University Science Virtual Open Night. This evening I shall provide you with an overview of all the science courses that we have on offer here at Dunboyne College. To begin with, we have the Pre-University Science and Agricultural Science course. This one-year course is designed to give students an introduction to the world of science and covers a variety of areas related to the sciences. The mathematics element allows students to bring their levels up to the competence relevant to their intended third level course. Students will also have the option to study other modules along with science to shape their qualification for entry to their desired course or area of employment. The course content includes the practical module of laboratory techniques, communications, biology, work experience, chemistry, word processing, physics, mathematics, animal A&P, safety and health, and microbiology. From time to time, we are very fortunate to have guest speakers come on site. In this particular example, we had Tanya Graham, who's the Analytical Manager at Almac Group, which is based in Northern Ireland. Tanya gave the students an overview of the workings of the pharmaceutical company and also discussed the progression routes into the company. So the career opportunities associated with this course are that graduates may pursue science certificate or degree courses in TCD, DCU, Maynooth University, UCD, to name but a few. Examples of higher education progression include biological and biomedical sciences in Trinity, common entry science in DCU, science in TU Dublin City Campus, chemical science in DCU, or science in Maynooth. Now, what is agricultural science? This is designed to give students an introduction to agricultural science. It's a one-year course that covers a variety of areas related to the study of animal science. Students will gain a fundamental understanding of content related to animal and agri-sciences. Students will also have the option to study other modules within the science sector, giving a good grounding for entry into higher education science degree. The course content associated with agricultural science is somewhat similar to that of the pre-university science, in that the modules are quite similar, including the core module of animal anatomy and physiology. Here we have a snapshot of our scientists hard at work in the lab in Dunboyne College. The career opportunities then associated with this course: graduates may pursue degree courses in several universities throughout Ireland and ITs throughout Ireland, also in the UK. Alternatively, students may seek immediate employment in a range of companies and projects that seek graduates with a science aptitude. In terms of higher education progression, you've agricultural science or animal and crop production in UCD, science in DCU, or science in TU Dublin. Now, if CSI is your area of interest, then the pre-university forensic science course is the course for you. This course will introduce students to the basic principles of forensic science over 1 year. Students will participate in laboratory work, with a particular focus on how evidence is calculated and analysed for use in the legal cases. Students will gain a knowledge of the link between the sciences and how these are put to use in the Irish legal system. In addition to the core science subjects, we also have criminal law, criminology, microbiology, to name but a few. On this particular occasion, we were extremely fortunate to have Dr. Dorothy Ramsbottom from Forensics Ireland come into the college and deliver an amazing talk on the workings of the Forensics Ireland. In terms of the career opportunities associated with this course, graduates may pursue degree courses such as digital forensics, computer forensics at TU Dublin Blanchardstown or Waterford IT. Graduates may also progress on to many other degrees at level 7 and 8 in universities and ITs or even private colleges around the country, along with progression options to the UK. Future areas of employment can include forensic medical examiner, forensic engineer, crime scene investigator, crime laboratory analyst. Alternatively, students may progress directly into employment. Example being graduates of a level 7 degree may progress to employment with Forensics Ireland. Here is a list of some of the examples of higher education progression. Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity at TU Dublin, Blanchardstown. DNA and Forensic Analysis at TU Dublin, Tallaght. Computer Forensics and Security at Waterford IT, or Applied Social Studies at TU Dublin, Blanchardstown. Now, if climate change is your area of interest, then the pre-university environmental science course is the course for you. This one-year course introduces students to the core science modules of physics, chemistry and biology, along with environmental studies. The skills and knowledge gained while studying these subjects will be invaluable to those hoping to pursue a career in renewable energy, waste management, nature reserves and parks. The course content involves the following modules: the science modules of biology, chemistry, maths and physics, but also the core module of environmental studies. The career opportunities then associated with this course is that graduates of the Environmental Science QQI Award can progress to many degree courses, including environmental science, environmental health at several universities and ITs throughout the country. Future areas of employment can include environmental science, environmental engineer, conservation and environmental planning. Here is a list of some of the examples of higher progression. So you have environmental science and technology at DCU, planning and environmental management at TU Dublin City Campus, environmental health at TU Dublin City Campus, or sustainable energy engineering at TU Dublin Tallaght. Our next course is the Pre-University Sports Science course, an extremely popular course here at Dunboyne College. This one-year course will equip the learner with the skills and knowledge to qualify for work in the sports sector. With the combination of modules offered, students can avail of the Science Award and progress on to third level. The modules which we cover under this course are sports anatomy and physiology, exercise and fitness, maths, nutrition, physics, chemistry, laboratory skills, communications and work experience. Graduates may pursue a science certificate or degree courses in many of the universities around Ireland. Students can progress to PE teaching via an undergraduate degree at IT Tralee or Cork University. DCU offers sports science and health. IT Athlone offers sports science with exercise physiology. And TU Dublin Tallaght offers sports science and health. Now, this is one of our relatively new courses. It's the Pre-University Food Science, Nutrition, Health and Wellbeing. With this course, it offers two possible awards. The first of which is the Applied Science Laboratory Techniques Award. The second award is the Food Science Award. So what exactly is food science? This one-year course is designed for those who has an interest in nutrition, food science and the principles of food processing. A food scientist applies their knowledge of biology and chemistry to develop and improve foods and has a role to play in all aspects of the food chain, from production right through to processing, storage and marketing. This course gives a solid introduction to food science and technology for students who wish to pursue a food science degree in universities and ITs. The course content is as follows: food chemistry, mathematics, food processing, nutrition, microbiology, word processing, safety and health, psychology, understanding mental health, behavioural studies. In terms of the career opportunities with this course, graduates may pursue science certificate or degree courses in TCD, UCD, DCU, TU Dublin, IT in Carlow, Athlone, as well as several other ITs and colleges around the country and in the UK. Examples of career progression include food innovation at TU Dublin, food science with business at Waterford IT, food science in UCC, health science with nutrition in Athlone IT, or animal and crop production in UCD. Now, for all those animal lovers out there, this is most certainly the course for you, the Pre-University Animal Science course. This course would suit applicants with a passion for working with animals. Students will study modules within the animal care sectors such as animal anatomy and physiology, animal behaviour, animal welfare and biology. This course is an ideal base for students who intend to continue to study at higher education degrees in veterinary nursing or bioveterinary and animal sciences. The modules we cover in this course are the core science modules. In addition to those modules, we have animal anatomy and physiology, animal behaviour, animal welfare, small animal husbandry and housing. The career opportunities associated with this course is that graduates from this course may access veterinary nursing in major ITs and in UCD. This course links with general science and agricultural science in UCD. Other graduates have gone on to further study in wildlife biology, marine biology and bioveterinary. Some students, on the other hand, will progress to employment in animal behaviour, dog grooming, animal welfare, stables, kennels. Examples of career progression include veterinary nursing or animal science in UCD, veterinary nursing in DKIT, bioveterinary science in Athlone IT, or wildlife biology in Tralee IT. And finally, our new and upcoming science course for 2022, the Pre-University Biomedical and Pharmaceutical Science course. This sector represents some of the largest industries operating in Ireland, with high employment and significant research occurring. This one-year course is designed to give students an introduction to biomedical and pharmaceutical science and covers a variety of skills related to the sciences, including problem solving, teamwork, data handling and analysis, organisation and communication. The course content comprises of the practical module laboratory techniques, communications, biology, work experience, chemistry, word processing, microbiology, physics, medical terminology, infection prevention and control, mathematics, anatomy and physiology, and safety and health at work. Career opportunities include graduates may pursue science certificate or degree courses in universities such as TCD, DCU, Maynooth University, to name but a few. Alternatively, students may seek immediate employment in a range of company and projects that seek graduates with a science aptitude. In terms of higher education progression then, biological and biomedical science courses offered in TCD. In TUD, Tala Pharmaceutical Science course is offered. Pharmaceutical and biomedical chemistry in Maynooth, pharmaceutical science in DKIT, science in DCU. And that concludes our overview of all the science courses which Dunboyne College of Further Education has to offer. Derek, Maeve, Keenan and myself are now available to answer any questions you may have.
Hi there, I'm Maeve I've Nimo, guidance counsellor here in Dunboyne College, along with Derek Ball, my colleague, and Keenan Courtney Early, and with Fiona we're going to answer your questions, as Fiona has said. So there are some questions coming in already, Fiona, and we have one there about the work experience that's come in, actually, about placement and how students get that. Do they get that themselves, or where do they get that?
Well, we have work experience teachers on site that are there to be at hand to help with the students with their work experience. Now, what they would tend to do, if they have an area or a place or an industry in particular that they're very interested in, they would often have a consultation with the work experience teacher. They would then see if maybe previous students have used that same company, therefore locate the link that they would have from before. Now, we're extremely fortunate to have so many industries in the vicinity of Dunboyne College of Further Education, and in particular for science we've got Merck, Sharp and Doane on our doorstep. So we have an excellent link with those. Now, we have had discussions with them in terms of putting work placements in place for the students, and that's currently in progress at the moment.
That sounds fantastic. And I know in our last department earlier we had a question about somebody that's in paid employment. Could they use their paid employment if it was in a related area of work to their course? So would that apply to science too, Fiona?
Of course it would, absolutely. It's all adaptable into the science sector.
Brilliant.
Fiona, there's a lot of comments coming in there as well about the whole area of science, that it's always expanding, it's a growing sector. Are there any particular areas or specific sectors that you would recommend as growing areas at the moment?
Of course, Derek. In particular, there's two that spring to mind straight away. The climate change is very much at the forefront of our minds. It's in the media, it's everywhere. So looking at one of the courses that we offer here at Dunboyne is the Pre-University Environmental Science course, very much focused around climate change. In addition to that, I have to say the new and upcoming course that we are launching this year is the Pre-University Biomedical and Pharmaceutical course. As you know, you turn a corner and there's a pharmaceutical company nearby. It is very much at the forefront of our minds, especially when we are in the middle of a pandemic. So yeah, the pharmaceutical industry is the prime area to be at this stage.
A question there about physics as a subject. Somebody has seen there listed as one of the modules. Some people I suppose would worry about physics, and question is about the difficulty of that, and maybe if you could talk a little bit about your thoughts on the physics module and what level it's at.
Well, that's kind of one kind of question we get each year in general with the sciences, because kind of normally for the Leaving Cert you might do one or two, and you can see that we offer all three and sometimes more. While it doesn't matter if you've done that subject before, because we will cover it as if it was, say, like just starting the Leaving Cert. The benefit is if you have done it before, then loads of it will look similar and you'll find it much easier to get through the year. But you're not disadvantaged in any way by not doing this, like by not doing physics or chemistry or biology for the Leaving Cert if you want to take it up now.
Mm. And would it be a mandatory subject to the course, Keenan?
No, there's usually choice for loads of the ones with the lab techniques full award. You have a choice with physics, chemistry, maths and biology. You have to pass 3 of them. So you can then choose if you want to drop one of them. Say if there is 2 sciences you want to focus on and the maths, then you can kind of focus on those. So you do have a little bit of leeway with that.
Brilliant.
Keenan, just following on from that, there's a lot of questions coming in about maths requirements as well for science courses. Would Leaving Cert higher level maths be mandatory to progress on to further ed?
I think I'm right in saying that loads of the progression routes that they can take the distinction in the level 5 QQI maths as a different way of getting into those courses. So if you do find Leaving Cert maths difficult, or maybe you didn't get the kind of marks you wanted in it, that still won't affect your chances of getting into the course you want with the full award from QQI and from here. And with our maths module as well, we cover loads of the topics that are on the Leaving Cert, and We cover it again as if, say, you're just finished the junior cert and starting from there. So again, you're not at any disadvantage. Say if you only did ordinary level or higher level, that you're kind of all at the same playing field, and you're not disadvantaged for that.
That's great.
And indeed, for progression purposes, then it's both is often accepted for the degree that you'd be applying for after your further education course. That a lot of times maths from the leaving certificate, if you have it at a certain level for that course, is brought across from your leaving cert, and it's used that way for progression. And indeed, if you don't have it, you can have your QQI level maths here in Dunboyne College. So it's giving you that option, isn't it, Keenan?
Exactly. So it's giving you more kind of routes to get to kind of where you want to go.
Exactly, yeah.
We've a lot of kind of general questions coming in there now. One is about the application process. Dennis mentioned that earlier on in the presentation. Our application process is now open. It opened early in November. There are two ways you can apply to Dunboyne College. The most direct route is actually via our website. So if you go onto dunboynecollege.ie, up in the top right hand corner you'll see the large red apply sign. Or alternatively, you can go via the CAO application system. But on our main website, it's probably the simplest way to do it. The form is quite simple. Just fill that in and get that submitted. You'll hear back from our admissions department within the week, and because we cannot do live interviews this year, we're going to ask you to submit 4 supplementary pieces of information. They are the personal statement. The personal statement, don't worry too much about it. It's 150 words, basically telling us why you want to do the course, why you're suited to it, and what you kind of hope to do after the course. You'll also be asked to submit a recent photograph. You'll be asked to submit a reference from your school, and finally you'll be asked to submit a recent set of results. I know a lot of you are waiting for mock results, so if you want you can just submit your 5th year summer results, or if you want to wait maybe a week or two after you submit your application, you can submit your mock results then. Our advice to you is to get applications in as quickly as possible. They're dealt with on a first come first served basis, and as Dennis said, we had over 2,500 applicants last year. So you'll hear back once you've submitted all those documents, you'll hear back very soon after that. And by paying a deposit on your course, that will secure your place. So once you receive your offer, if you're happy to take it, pay your deposit and that secures your place. If you do decide, Dunboyne might be your first choice or it might be your backup plan. If you do decide not to take up a place, you will get your deposit back, less a €30 administration fee.
And some questions here as well about the progression and how that works, I suppose, is often questions we get asked in terms of, a PLC course. As you'll know it probably from your schools, that it's a PLC course here at Further Education, and we refer to it as Further Education or QQI. But a PLC course, we're often asked, does it add together with your Leaving Cert points? And I think that's a big confusion that needs to be always clarified. So it gives you actually a separate set of results. It's a QQI separate set of results from your Leaving Cert. So they don't add together. It's acting as 2 courses, 2 separate sets of results, and doubling your chances to progress on then to your chosen degree. So you'll always have your Leaving Cert results. They're always in your pocket. You can use them. Then you always have your QQI results in your pocket too. So you have 2 sets of results. So it's a win-win situation for you. Not to mention all the things that Dennis talked about earlier about, the learning and the referencing and everything that you're learning at Further Education during that first year as well. And also to mention a bit about progression then, when you do apply, we apply through the Higher Education Link scheme. There's a set amount of places reserved for students in further education. So this means that you're only competing for your place against other students within the further education setting as well. And then within that, then you're getting your offer made a little bit earlier than the Leaving Cert round. Just within the further education setting round, say for example. And also sometimes you might need to be, like if for the science department, if you want to do a science degree, you'll probably want to be doing a science type of course, but that's not necessarily the case that if you're stuck to what you pick. You can pick a science course or any course indeed, and if you find when you're on the course that it's not your chosen area anymore, that you can still use those results to be able to progress on to a different course. So you can use your results quite generically to apply for another course. You're not stuck. So it's really very generic in a lot of ways, and then specific in other ways as well, like if science with science, but not necessarily so either.
Some questions also coming in there on around the kind of the course structure and how does a typical kind of year or week work in Dunboyne College. So all of our courses are 1 year full-time academic courses, and all students are on campus for 3 to 3.5 days per week. So we compress the course into 3 to 3.5 days per week. The reason we do that is to give you 1 day a week for work experience. Work experience is mandatory on all courses. You have to do a minimum of 60 hours for the year in each course. So that kind of, we give you a day a week for that, and we also give you a day a week for working on assignments, working on projects, catching up with work, etc. We also offer the Moodle package when you're studying at further ed or studying in Dunboyne College, and this is another great preparation, another advantage for preparing you for entry into third level. Basically, it's kind of like I always say it's like your school bag. It kind of becomes computerised when you come to further ed, and everything will be online. All your teachers will put their notes up after classes on Moodle. Your assignments will be given out there. You'll submit your assignments through it. You can keep track of your results and your attendance and all that kind of stuff. There's and the questions coming there about how many modules or courses so subjects are on every course. In the prospectus, we might list maybe 12 or 13 different modules in every course. You don't necessarily have to sit all 13 modules. When you start the course in September, your teachers will sit down and talk to you, and they'll go through all the modules. But the general rule is that for QQI, in order to get your full award, you must sit a specific or a particular 8 modules. So we always advise that you do 8 modules and 1 spare, and then you can pick certain electives if you want. So if there's other subjects or other modules there that you like, you can pick them on top of the 8 modules as well.
For the question there coming in around the health and science and nutrition course, and that refers to that about how many modules to take. So that's the exact same as Derek is saying about the modules there that he's just described for the health and science and nutrition course as well. Another question there, do we need to apply for each course, for example? Do I need to apply separately for science and food science? So that's a great question, because when you make your application to Dunboyne College, you will have a choice of 3. You have your first, second and third choice. Now, if you apply early, basically in the springtime, you will more than likely get your first choice. It's later on that places will have filled up and you may not necessarily get your first choice. So you're making one application. You can put in the 3 options, but it is really your first choice that you're going to get offered if you apply early. One thing that some students are worried about is that if they apply for, they're not sure, say, between 2 particular areas, and they might be very similar, so they're not sure whether to put it first or second. Don't worry too much. Just make your application, go with it. When we start in September, we do have a lot of flexibility around movement. Students will be referred or come over to Derek and I, and we will talk in depth with you around what's not working for you on the course, and what might suit you better, and the why and all that, and the progression routes and everything. And we do have that movement that we can move students around. So don't worry too much about getting your actual course, the exact one, right. Just make the application is the best thing.
Just a lot of people are asking there, what advice would you give to a student if they're sitting down now looking at this range of 8 different science courses available at Dunboyne College? What advice would you give a student when they're trying to pick one of those subjects, one of those courses?
I suppose because you will see kind of on many of them that there's loads of some of the same modules on them all. So like most of them might have chemistry and physics and maths and biology. And maybe if there is some, you have some kind of interest in maybe one of the different aspects, like the criminology. So you can still do the science there as well, or you can kind of deviate off into that kind of CSI kind of aspect of it, or the more an environmental one or the food one. So what's handy, so kind of like focus on like those slightly different modules, because they're your kind of more choices where you can kind of maybe do something slightly different, because you will be doing most of those core ones no matter which one you pick. So have a look at those ones that are just slightly different, and then see, oh yeah, I like to look at that one module, so maybe I'll do that one, and that might then steer you towards kind of which one you want to do. And I think as well, like loads of the different awards can still get you into different courses in different colleges anyway. So maybe you might go for one, but actually halfway through you think, well, I actually want to go for this course, but that award might still actually let you get there anyway. So there's loads of kind of flexibility there, from us and for where you want to go.
And Fiona, where would what would sort of the timetable look like for a student on for the week that they'd come to the college? Like if they were a school student now and they had 5 days a week, what might a timetable look like for a student if they came to us?
Well, with science, there will be a combination of both practical classes and there'll be a combination of theory classes. Now, initially, we would offer the timetable up with all of the subjects, like you were saying, Derek and Maeve, and from that then they would try the subjects out for maybe the first 2 weeks, and after that what they would do is then start selecting subjects that maybe they no longer want to study. Now we do have a colour code system whereby if the timetable would have the red, green and yellow subjects. So the red subjects are those which are mandatory, you must complete them. So for example, in pre-university science course, you have laboratory skills, communications and work experience are the red subjects. Then you move on to the green subjects and you have 4 of those. So they'd be your core science subjects such as physics, maths, chemistry and biology, of which you must do 3. And then in order to fill up your modules then to 8 or 9, you need to give yourself a wee bit of a safety net there. You have the yellow and the white. So that could be anything from animal anatomy and physiology to just human anatomy and physiology, safety at work, there's so many modules out there. But and then obviously the practical aspect of it as well.
The timetable run over for a student?
Currently this year, now it does change, we have students on site for 4 days, with the 5th day being a day to kind of do their work experience. So it's typically 4 days out of 5.
Brilliant.
I think another great advantage there of further ed is, and Dennis has mentioned that earlier on, is that students often come to further ed to sample a particular area, but it doesn't mean that you're stuck in that area. Another great advantage is the transferability from the courses within further ed. You might come in and decide that you're going to take on science for the year, but you might decide during the year that is not the area for you. So just to remember that there is transferability from those courses into different faculties when you go on to 3rd level. You might decide to go on to Blanchardstown and study business studies after you've done a science course here. So there is good transferability into different areas. You're not stuck in that particular faculty.
An example of that, a couple of years ago, I remember a student who was in one of the social care classes and it wasn't for her, she didn't like it, but her award was extremely valuable to her because she was getting this extra set of results that she would be able to use to progress on to another course. And in fact, she went on and did a business degree in Blanchardstown. So it just goes to show you how valuable the set of results is. A couple of things just to note as well from Fiona was talking about the science, the sports science course, and there has been changes since the prospectus even has been printed actually in terms of progression that has been announced. So for PE teaching is now linked through DCU with the PE teaching and biology and the PE teaching and maths. So now you can use your set of results from further education to go directly into PE teaching in DCU, where this wasn't the case before. And in the prospectus it is listed as having to go through Tralee and UL. So you can actually access that through DCU now, which is great.
I suppose in general it just shows the credence and the relevance that 3rd levels are putting on further ed at the moment. Every single college in the country accepts further ed courses at this stage onto most of their courses. And you have colleges like DCU, they're doubling the amount of courses this year that are accepting further ed applicants. So it's great to see that.
And the fact that further education is now appearing on CAO, and as Dennis mentioned, 10 courses this year, but next year will be a greater number than that next year. That's moving the way forward, even to have more courses opened up to further education links. So the whole area is growing really, really rapidly actually.
Okay, I think we've come to the end of our time there for questions. Just to thank you for all your questions, and please, if you have any other questions around course content, college progression or about college life in Dunboyne, go onto the website there, you'll find more information, and you'll also find Maeve's email address and my email address. Contact us, no problem at all, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Great, thanks very much.